You slip out of your mother, somewhere in the mountains of Central Asia. One sibling slides out beside you and lands against your back. You're blind and can't see anything around you, but you press closer to the warmth coming from the nest material your mother lined the burrow with. Your sibling squirms and accidentally rolls on top of you, pinning you against the dirt wall. You twist and push until you break free, then crawl back toward the center where it's warmer. Your mother shifts her weight and stands. Then she turns and moves toward the burrow entrance, leaving you and your sibling behind. Her steps fade and the burrow goes quiet. Skip forward a week and your eyes open for the first time. The walls around you are packed dirt and stone, and your sibling is already moving around the space with more confidence than you. A moment later, your mother appears at the entrance with grass hanging from her mouth. She drops it on the floor between you and your sibling, then turns and leaves again without stopping. Your sibling moves toward the pile first and starts pulling at the stems. You crawl forward and try to bite down on a piece, but your teeth can't cut through it yet. Your sibling shoves you aside with one paw and drags the biggest clump away from you. Then something vibrates through the ground. It's faint at first, but grows heavier with each pulse. You stop moving and press flat against the floor. Your sibling does the same. The vibrations pass overhead and fade into the distance, but your mother doesn't come back. The grass pile sits between you, and the entrance stays empty. You wait there in the half-light, listening to your sibling chew. You don't know what's out there yet, but soon you'll have to find out. You're 3 weeks old now, and the burrow feels smaller every time you move. Your sibling is already near the entrance, and you can hear short, high-pitched calls coming from outside. You need to see what's out there, so you push toward the light and squeeze through the opening onto a rocky slope. The sky stretches out above you further than anything you've seen before. Your sibling is a few body lengths away, already pulling at fresh vegetation with its teeth. You take a few steps forward, testing the ground with each movement. Then a shadow sweeps across the rocks in front of you, making you freeze in place. Your sibling bolts toward a crack between two stones and disappears inside. You flatten yourself against the nearest boulder and stay completely still. The shadow circles overhead once, then twice, before it finally moves past the ridge and disappears. You wait until nothing moves above you, then you walk toward a patch of grass growing between the rocks. You bite down on a stem and pull, tearing it free from the ground. That's your first real meal outside the burrow. You chew through it quickly, then reach for another. Your mother comes out from a different entrance on the far side of the slope. She makes a sharp call that cuts through the air, so you stop moving and stay where you are. A Pika you've never seen before appears on a rock nearby. It's larger than your mother and moves toward her with its body low to the ground. Your mother charges straight at it, and they collide in the space between two boulders. They push and bite at each other for a few seconds before the stranger turns and runs back across the slope. Your mother watches it go, then turns and walks back toward her entrance. You and your sibling both move toward the burrow and slip back inside. The territory is yours for now, but staying fed means going back out there. Skip forward a bit, and you're 2 months old now. You've been going outside every day, and each trip feels easier than the last. Your mother is on the slope ahead of you, doing something you haven't seen before. She's biting through grass stems and carrying them back in bundles that look too big for her mouth. Then she drops them on a flat section of rock and goes back for more. You need to understand what she's doing, so you move closer and watch her make another trip. She places the new bundle on top of the others, building a pile that's already twice the size of your body. You walk to a patch of grass nearby and bite down on a stem, but it's tougher than the ones you've been eating. You pull harder, and it finally tears free. Then you pick it up and carry it toward the pile your mother started. Your sibling appears from the other side of the slope with a bundle that's much larger than yours. It drops the grass on the pile and turns back without looking at you. You go back to the patch and try again, this time grabbing 3 stems at once before biting through them. That's when something moves between the rocks to your left. It's long and brown, and it's coming straight toward you. You drop the grass and run, but the weasel is faster than anything you've seen before. You spot a crack between 2 boulders ahead and dive through the opening just as the weasel's teeth snap shut behind you. The space is too narrow for it to follow, but it pushes its head into the gap and tries to force its way through. You press yourself against the back wall and stay completely still. After a few seconds, the weasel pulls back and leaves. You wait inside the crack until your legs stop shaking. Then you carefully move back toward the entrance and look out. Your cut grass is scattered across the rocks. Winter is coming, and you'll need more than a few stems to survive it. You're 6 months old now, and your mother has stopped coming back to the burrow you share with your sibling. You're cutting grass on your own section of the slope when your sibling walks straight toward the patch you're working on. They lower their head and start biting through the same stems you were about to take. You need this grass for your own pile, so you move forward and push against their shoulder with your head. They push back harder, and both of you rise up on your back legs. Your sibling is slightly bigger than you, so they force you backward across the rocks until you lose your balance and drop down. You turn away and move to a different area further down the slope. The grass here is just as thick, but you're outside the territory you know. You start cutting through several stems at once, working faster than before. Then another Pika appears from behind a boulder. It's not your mother or your sibling. It's a full-grown adult, and it charges at you the moment it sees you. You try to run back uphill, but the other Pika is much faster and cuts off your path. It bites down on your side just below your front leg, making you stumble and roll down the rocky slope. You hit the ground hard, scramble back to your feet, and sprint toward your home territory as fast as you can move. Your sibling is still there when you get back, but this time they just watch you run past without moving toward you. You both stay in the same area for the rest of the day, and neither of you tries to push the other one out. Something has changed between you. You're still competing for the same grass and the same space, but now you both understand that the real threats live outside your shared ground. You'll need your own territory soon, and someone else is already living on it. You're 10 months old now, and snow has started covering the rocks and grass across the entire slope. Your hay pile is much smaller than the ones your mother and sibling built, because you didn't collect enough before the snow arrived. You need to make it last, so you retreat into your burrow and start eating from the pile you stored inside. Days go by, and you only come out for short periods to check the area and leave droppings near the entrance. Your stored grass is disappearing faster than you expected, so you eat less with each trip to the pile. After a few more days, you look at what's left and realize it won't be enough to last until the snow melts. You need more food, so you leave the burrow and move across the snow toward your siblings' territory. Their hay pile is twice the size of yours and sits out in the open on top of a flat rock. You move closer and grab a mouthful of grass from the edge of the pile, then turn to leave. Your sibling bursts out of their burrow entrance and charges straight at you across the snow. You drop the grass and run, but they stay right behind you. Your front foot slips on a patch of ice, making you tumble forward and hit the ground hard. Your sibling catches up and bites down on your ear before you can get back up. You twist your head and break free, then scramble to your feet and sprint back toward your own territory. Your ear is torn and bleeding down the side of your face. You go straight into your burrow and press yourself against the wall. The bleeding slows down over the next few hours, but the wound stays open. You go back to your hay pile and eat even less than before, stretching out what you have left. Spring will come eventually, if you make it that long. Skip forward, and you're 1 year old now. The snow has melted and fresh grass is growing everywhere across the slope. Your body has changed in ways you don't fully understand, and you keep hearing calls from other Pikas that sound more urgent than anything you've heard before. A female appears at the far edge of your territory. You need to get closer to her, so you move forward slowly while making soft calls. She stays where she is and doesn't run. You walk right up to her and touch her nose with yours for just a moment. Then she turns and starts moving across the rocks, so you follow behind her. That's when another male comes out from between two boulders. He's much larger than you and moves straight toward you without slowing down. You try to hold your ground, but he slams into your side with enough force to knock you off your feet. You hit the rocks hard and roll once before stopping. You get back up and try to face him, but he charges again and hits you in the same spot. This time, the impact throws you backward into a boulder, making pain shoot through your ribs with every breath you take. The other male doesn't wait for you to recover. He turns away from you and moves toward the female instead. She watches him come closer, and when he reaches her, she stays still and lets him touch her nose. You pull yourself up and move back toward your own territory, staying low to the ground. Your ribs hurt with every step, but you keep moving until you reach your burrow. You go inside and press yourself against the wall, breathing slowly until the pain becomes easier to handle. Your body will heal over the next few weeks. There will be other chances, but next time, you'll need to be stronger. You're 2 years old now, and you've claimed a section of the slope that sits between two large rock formations. Your hay pile from last winter was big enough to get you through the entire season, so now you're building an even larger one for the winter that's coming. You work from the moment you wake up until the sun drops behind the peaks, cutting grass and carrying it back in bundles that get heavier with each trip. You've learned exactly how to bite through multiple stems at once, and how to carry the most grass possible without dropping any. A younger Pika wanders onto your territory while you're working, so you need to protect what's yours. You charge straight at them and chase them back across the rocks until they disappear past the boundary line. A few hours later, you're harvesting near the edge of your range when you spot movement between the boulders below. A fox is walking through the rocks, with its head low to the ground. You need to stay hidden, so you freeze in place and don't move a single muscle. The fox stops and sniffs the air, then turns and walks in your direction. It comes within 2 body lengths of where you're standing. You stay completely still while it passes right by you, and your fur matches the color of the granite so perfectly that the fox doesn't see you at all. It continues moving down the slope and disappears behind a ridge. You wait until you can't see it anymore, then you quickly grab the grass you just cut and carry it back to your territory. Your hay pile is now the largest one in this entire section of the mountain, bigger than your mother's and bigger than your siblings. You've built something that can get you through the harshest part of winter, and you've proven you can defend it from anyone who tries to take it. You've survived 2 full winters already, and this one will test whether you can survive a third. You're 3 years old now, and you've made it through 2 full winters on your own. You're outside your burrow, eating fresh grass that's growing between the rocks when something changes. A vibration moves through the ground beneath your feet, faint at first, but growing stronger with each passing second. You look up the slope and see the snow breaking loose high above you. The avalanche starts as a small crack, but it grows wider as it moves down the mountain, picking up rocks and debris with every meter it drops. You need to get away from it, so you turn and run straight toward your burrow entrance. But the ground is already shaking too hard for you to keep your balance. You change direction and try to run sideways across the slope instead, moving as fast as your legs can carry you. The wall of snow hits the rocks behind you and keeps coming, moving faster than anything you've ever seen before. It catches your back legs first and flips you forward into the snow. You tumble inside the mass with your body spinning in every direction, and and you can't tell which way leads up or down anymore. The pressure builds around you, crushing in from all sides and filling your mouth and nose with snow. Then your body slams into something hard buried in the avalanche, and the impact knocks all the air out of your lungs. The snow keeps moving for a few more seconds before everything finally stops. You try to dig toward the surface, but the snow has packed solid around your entire body, and you can't move your legs at all. You can't breathe, and you can't see anything. Your legs stop responding to what you're trying to make them do, and your body goes still inside the snow. Above you, the mountain is quiet again, and somewhere nearby, another Pika makes its warning call.